So, Toto, finally we meet.
Yeah, man. Yeah, man. Yeah. Toto, I'm here in the flesh.
First of all, I want to say thank you for coming out here and doing this with us. You're a very well known guy, especially within the vegan community. So I think that a lot of people have been wanting to hear from you and to get to know the real Toto Wanje.
Thank you for having me, man. It's my pleasure. Basically, the pleasure is all mine.
You're a very controversial guy. I've watched some of your videos and I've seen you say some pretty real shit sometimes, some pretty real stuff, and it creates a lot of discussion, especially in the Facebook groups. You create a lot of discussions and a lot of arguments, and people think you're very controversial and probably misunderstand a lot of stuff, and that's why basically I called you to have this interview so that we can get to know the real Toro Wanje. So basically, thank you for coming out here and begin with telling us a little bit about yourself.
Well, I grew up in Kenya. I'm from Kenya. I was born and raised in Kenya. And then I moved to Ireland, where I lived with my Irish mom basically for 5 years, and then from there I moved here to Sweden, and basically I've been living here since I moved here. Since I moved here, I'm still here. No, but I moved from Kenya to Ireland, and then from Ireland here to Sweden, and yeah, now I'm here, enjoying life. I've become vegan
How
now.
long have you been vegan?
I knew you would ask that question. I knew you would
That's
ask.
why we're here,
I knew
Toto.
you would ask that question. On the way here, I was thinking, he's gonna ask me. He's gonna ask. It's like it's kind of like something people they're holding it in, and then as soon as they meet a vegan, how long have you been vegan? You just spit it out. How long have you? I knew you were going to ask me that
But
question.
lions eat meat, bro. Lions eat meat, bro.
I knew you were going to ask. I knew you were going to say that. I knew you were going to ask why I'm vegan, how long I've been vegan, and I knew you were going to say, but lions eat meat, bro. Well, lions eat meat, bro.
Lions eat meat, bro.
But lions eat meat. It's actually, it's one of the silliest, arguments that meat eaters use against veganism, or when they're arguing for eating meat. It's one of the silliest things someone can say. But lions eat meat. But for example, monkeys climb trees. If I climb up a tree and I fall down or something, break my back, should I say, oh, but the monkeys are climbing the trees? Well, look, the monkeys. If I jump off a cliff, nobody uses these reasonings when it comes to anything else, only to, when it comes to eating meat. You're talking with someone and then you say, why do you eat meat? Or, having a discussion with them and they say, but lions eat meat. You'd be like, sis, you're not a lion. Who cares what the lions are doing? Who cares what the lions are doing? Human beings, they have, we have become so basically ridiculous and so low-minded that we're comparing what we do with what the animals are doing. Nobody would ever jump off a cliff and say, oh, but the eagle is trying to fly. If you ask somebody, why are you jumping off cliffs? Oh, but look, the eagle jumps off cliffs. Nobody says. But when you ask someone, why do you eat meat? They say, but the lions eat meat. It's basically
But
it's
lions
kind
eat
of
meat, bro.
ridiculous.
Lions eat meat, bro.
It's kind of ridiculous and insane. I'm gonna go climb trees, then break my back or something, and then someone will come down and say, "But why did you climb the tree?" But the monkeys are climbing the trees. That's how ridiculous it is. When meat eaters say, "But lions eat meat. Why do you eat meat?" Oh, but the lions eat meat. Lions. They live outside. They lick their balls. They sniff their ass. Why do meat eaters pick one thing that lions do and try to compare that with how humans should be living? Oh, but should you say, oh, but the lions sniff each other's ass? Nobody ever says that because they know it's insane to say such a thing. But basically, when it comes to meat, all of a sudden, but lions eat meat. Basically it's ridiculous. When I'm having discussions with meat eaters, and it can start off as a really intelligent discussion, and then all of a sudden the person says, but lions eat meat. When they say that, my mind just, oh, I don't want to talk to. I don't want to talk to this person anymore because it's so silly. And the funny thing is, it doesn't matter how well educated a person is. It doesn't matter it doesn't matter if it's a politician. It doesn't matter if it's a well-educated doctor. It doesn't matter if it's a lawyer. It doesn't matter what kind of person it is. Basically, when it comes to veganism, everybody says that that's the weirdest thing of all. When talking to meat eaters, no matter who it is, everybody says, "But lions eat meat," and you're like, "But you're not a lion." You're always wondering. A doctor, should be smarter than this. A lawyer, don't they have this, thinking capability? And that's what's so scary about brainwashing. That everybody can basically be brainwashed. Because even if a doctor can say, "But lions eat meat," you're wondering. You're a doctor, a well-educated person. Why would you refer to lions for human behavior, for your own behavior? No one, a doctor would never say, "Oh, but the monkeys climb trees or the birds fly. That's why I tried to jump off the cliff." But they say, "But lions eat meat." Who cares what the lions are doing? Yeah, that's why basically, when someone starts talking about "but lions eat meat," I want to leave.
I hear a lot of meat eaters that say that we have eaten meat for thousands of years, and that's why we should be eating meat, or that we are made to eat meat because we have been eating meat for thousands of years. What do you say about that?
Well, even if we've eaten meat for thousands of years, that doesn't make it. That's not a good reason for doing something. For thousands of years, people have killed each other. Should we start? The reasoning of meat eaters, sometimes is insane. Oh, but we've done this for thousands of years. We had slaves for not we, but the white man, the white man. The white man had slaves for 400 years. Should we continue doing that just because we've done it for hundreds of years? That's why when it comes to meat eaters, their reasoning, they probably don't understand it themselves, but it's really ridiculous, sometimes, saying lions eat meat, "Oh, but we've eaten meat for thousands of years." To be like, how does that justify anything? Should the soldiers, killing each other, should they say, "Oh, but we killed each other because we've done it for thousands of years"? Like, so what? Who cares? Who cares what we have done for thousands of years? It's all about evolution, and it's all about evolving as human beings. And we are at that time now in history where we have to evolve as human beings, especially when it comes to consciousness. And that's the thing. Humanity. We're evolving basically. Through technology, we're evolving. Social media and all this, we're evolving technologically, but our consciousness is not evolving. Our awareness is not evolving. So people, they may have an iPhone, but you ask them a simple question: "Why do you eat meat?" "Oh, well, lions eat meat." Be like, "Well, what are you talking about, lions?" So basically, that we've done something for thousands of years doesn't justify anything. Might as well say, why are you holding an iPhone? We've been talking, we've been screaming. We've been screaming at each other over the villages for thousands of years instead of calling each other. We've been beating the drums to sound to the next neighborhood. Well, nobody uses those justifications for anything else. Nobody says, "Oh, but we have had slaves for thousands of years." That's what. So that's why consciousness is not evolving, but basically technology is evolving, but humans are still remaining dumb. Basically, remaining stupid. I don't know. I hope I don't want to offend anyone if I'm allowed to swear here. I'm that guy. I can't be politically correct. Being politically correct, it makes you be somebody else. So I hope I don't. I hope it's okay to swear here on this channel, basically.
Yeah, man, you can swear, no problem, no problem. If you say anything that that shouldn't be heard, then we can always edit it out. But yeah, man, no, be
Thank
you,
God.
Toto.
Thank God. No, but basically, humanity, we're evolving, technologically, but people are remaining stupid, basically, saying dumb things. Lions eat meat. We've eaten meat for thousands of years. Oh, but cavemen ate meat. That's also another argument. Meat eaters say. But they actually say these things. Doctors, lawyers, ordinary people. The uneducated as well as the educated, politicians as well as normal people. They come with the same. Oh, but lions eat meat. Oh, we've eaten meat for thousands of years. Oh, but cavemen ate meat. Who says these things? But cavemen ate meat. That's why you're eating meat. Cavemen raped women. They beat women and then they raped them. Should we start saying, "Oh, but cavemen raped women"? So I think it's something to do with consciousness that has happened. Something has happened to consciousness that it has blocked humanity from actually being able to think clearly. Saying "but cavemen ate meat." That's it's almost as ridiculous as it sounds. There are many videos that you can watch on YouTube. A lot of vegan activists have they go around talking to different meat eaters and asking them questions. And one of them is Earthling Zed, Joey, Carb Strong, James Aspey. These are amazing guys. Watch their videos and you can learn a lot lot from them. And basically, they go around filming people, and when you hear the answers of these people, you're like, oh my God. I'm like, is humanity, is humanity this dumb? Are we really at this state of consciousness where we're so low that we would refer to cavemen and what we have done for thousands of years, to justify the killing of animals? It's basically, it's insane.
Yeah, it is insane. Actually, it's a bit weird that humanity has ended up in this state. I know, I've heard that you're also an activist, so I'm guessing you've also encountered a lot of these discussions. How long have you been an activist?
Yeah, it is insane. I've been an activist now for actually not so long, almost a year. I've been active for the animals, and it's basically, it's amazing. It's the most wonderful thing you can do, basically, for the animals and for the world and for the planet and for other people, basically, to be an activist. It's an incredible feeling to be part of such an amazing community of great individuals that are working for something greater than themselves. That's to be a part of that community is it's basically incredible, and that's why I urge all vegans to become activists and to be active for the animals, because that's the only way that we're going to actually create real changes and try to be positive about it. A lot of vegans are angry. It is hurtful to see the animals to see the animals hurting, being killed and mutilated, and then knowing that human beings are so lost basically in their consciousness that they can't even understand what's going on. So it is a tough journey for activists, but that's why I'm saying try to be as positive as possible, even though the things that we go through basically, and the dumb discussions that we have with meat eaters. But lions eat meat. Oh, but monkeys climb trees. I want to hear that. I want to hear a meat eater say, "Oh, but the monkeys climb trees."
I know that some activists they're in it for a while and then they quit. Are you going to be an activist long time? Are you in it for the long run?
Yeah, man, I'm an activist for life, man. Shit, liberation for the animals. Toto, man, Wakanda forever, Wakanda forever.